멈추세요.
아, 여기서도 누가 소리. 굿샷. 둘, 셋.
And now Yoon not, she is the leader. The first round at times, the power play that we've grown accustomed to seeing from her ended up leaving her with a lot of approach work to do, but especially from the final 12 holes yesterday, she was driving heavily and getting herself into fantastic positions to go on in one stroke. Yoon now, you could hear the exasperation as she lips around the hole and is unable to extend that advantage. Can't even really call that a mistake, but you can call it a missed opportunity. Consider how Yoon has fared so far this weekend here. One par, one birdie. At 366 meters or 400 yards long this hole, it favors a little extra strength off the tee. Yoon not only 146 to go on the par 4. It's a 7-iron 4-hour leader. And not only does she reach, but she puts it within 2.5 or 3 meters. A gentle down, significant and sharp break. That is a thoroughly deserved birdie as a result. Yoon, she was disappointed to walk off the 8th green without a birdie. She would be doubly disappointed if she went 0 for 2, but she's in a great spot after a magisterial approach. And there's the sound she was looking for 10 minutes ago. To 10 under and a 2-stroke advantage. Yoon to begin the back. Just about able to escape out. The sand's still playing pretty hard with all the rain it took this week. I find Yoon in the sand. Despite her run-in yesterday to 18, she had 3 birdies in the last 4 holes. The bulk of her success so far this week has come on the front 9. But each time she has played this stretch of 10, 11, and 12, she has parred. Didn't let the sand trap dissuade her from being aggressive. Looking to stay left and find a setup akin to she needs to carry a good distance to get onto the green, but if you're long, she's down the hill, and that would make this day go from difficult to unbearable for her. Just a touch over 2 meters for Yoon, not trying to avoid bogey. Closer than her putt at 9 for birdie, but more break here certainly. It's a sigh of relief and an acknowledgement to the crowd. I mentioned earlier that this is one of the 2 holes with a different tee ground. On the back 9, it's 27 meters longer for the weekend. Yoon has had the challenge put forth by Hong Jung-min. She's inside of 100 meters and not quite going to clear. Be agonizing with every roll closer to the front fringe. Admittedly. So for Yoon, an outside but not impossible look at birdie. The speed obviously to get it up the hill, leaving her on the precipice of a bogey. On 14. And understandably, a lot of attention on this putt right now for Yoon. Trying to avoid a bogey and to keep the lead at 2. Just like Hong Jung-min, agonizingly close. First drop shot of the day and her first since hole number 8 yesterday. It's immediate advantage to Yoo Hyun-jo, though from off the green it will not be a slam dunk to try and take advantage of it. Starts it outside and no time to recover. A thin runway at the right side of the green on the par 4. Yoon now right back to where she was, proving that the bogey at 11 was the exception to the rule. She has played this. Just had to endure the Thursday and Friday rounds to enjoy it today, though if the forecast is to be believed, and it's been just about spot on to the hour all week, we'll have to savor this while we can, because there's some rain on the horizon again tomorrow. And now you can hear the exasperated sighs from her camp. Surprising herself, perhaps, with the club selection. For Yoon, I don't think she will feel the need to overcomplicate this. It's 12.8 meters underneath the target. And a deceptive amount of right to left break here as well. Took no chances leaving it short. She'll have that left for her par.
안 먹는 걸 생각하고 치면 돼. 끝에 안 먹는 거. 그 생각.
She's been able to deliver in the big moments. In the first dozen greens. Yoon to avoid going a bogey, birdie, bogey. She overhits it. She knew exactly what the ball was going to do break-wise, but misjudged the speed, and the pendulum swings back in the unfortunate direction. Young, and now Yoon looking to bounce back yet again. Driver's often the club that can lead her to do that when she's not trying to do too much. Good shot is right as the had some success here yesterday with her only birdie of the back nine. And 2 rounds and 2 pars for Yoon. She glances over the hill to the still flag, 86 meters in front of her. Softly lands it just above the pin. Moment. Breakout performance that we are witnessing. And Yoon, meanwhile, is floundering a bit. Now it must make par.
That's it.
Descends out of the lead for the first time in some time. That is an unfortunate carom, to put it mildly. Down into the bunker, Yoon was well left. Now Yoon 15 out of the sand. Yoon decided that's not the right club. .156. Bit of an uphill as well. She's going to be satisfied, I think, with the last-minute audible. Not quite a slam dunk, but a good opportunity for Yoon nevertheless. She knew where the ball was going to go, just didn't have the speed to get all the way there. She has firmly established herself as a Last but certainly not least, Yoon Na splits the difference between her group mates. Yoon Na finding herself trailing. Hasn't done much parring lately. Instead, it's been bogeys and birdies. Back to 10 under she goes. Give her 6 pickups on the day so far through 16 holes. Certainly an unfortunate outcome on the drive, as Yoon Na is probably wishing she was in the sand instead of that tall grass. And this is why we say Yoon Na would probably prefer to be in the sand. Looks like this particular set of rough has not been tended to in the preceding couple of weeks leading up to this tournament. Yoon Na will have her heels in the sand and will have to blast that through the fescue. And that's unfortunate. He was trying to hit it perfectly on the equator, but she tops it, hits the ridge of the bunker, and there goes her chance at a birdie here. Now the third for Yoon Na. As we well know at this point, the pin basically level with the back of the bunker on the left. She was going to leave no doubt that that was going to be at the back of the green, but now she'll be putting for par, knowing that bogey is probably 6 back, though Yoon Na and Yoo Hyun-jo could change that in these last 20 minutes or so. But for Yoon Na, it's not just birdies she's got to consider, it's limiting these mistakes. Almost hear a pin drop. The gallery plays the par 5 a bit more normally, and she gets on in 3 into a good spot for a birdie. It's a bogey she can live with. But a double would drastically change the calculus. She minimizes the damage and will think short par 5 is going to be a big opportunity for her. Frustration oozing on the 18th green. It's not a feeling that Yoon would like to experience. She'd like to be on the opposite end of that spectrum. Maybe even an eagle. But let's not put the cart before the horse. One shot at a time, and it's all about this for Yoon to set it up. She has birdied here each and every round thus far in the event. Moment of truth. That's no good. Where will it fall? And the supporters point. And they point to the forest where Park Young-kyung had gone yesterday. So before everyone heads down, Yoon is looking for confirmation of whether or not she'll need to take a provisional. And she is being summoned back up to the teeing ground, saying better safe than sorry. It was the dream start to this final round. She went out with a 32, and she's got 3 bogeys, 11, 13, and 17, and she's potentially staring down a penalty here. She's hoping that one of the tournament organizers in yellow can get a walkied up confirmation. Do I need to hit another? The much more tempered reaction from the crowd. She goes smooth and steady, and she'll have a lot of help, I imagine. Trying to look. Her help in the search was not required. Yoon is about to get the update, and she's hoping it's an update that the ball has been found. It's one thing for it to be found, it's another for it to be playable. You ask yourself the question, at what point are you doing more damage if you get a bit too greedy? Do you consider just shows Yoon is in a bit of a pickle? So they're going to wait for the rules official to come by and just make sure everything's done by the book. Now the other tour official getting up to speed as well, that the 2 putts, excuse me, for the birdie. You can see her move into a share of second with Sung Yoon-jin, and Yoon might be behind Kim Jae-hee when all this is said and done. You can see our camera operator has found a ball. We believe it's her ball.
어차피 저기서 치는 거는 티샷을 치고 가도 상관없긴 하잖아. 그래서 저는 티샷을 하고 오는 게 낫지 않을까? 오케이.
그러면 원위치로 가실 거예요?
네.
아, 그리고 저거는 그냥 내주고 혹시 또
근데 저거 빼기가 힘들 것 같아요.
네.
가시가 너무 많아서.
네.
아니 내가 빼줄까?
선수 볼이라는 건 맞다는 거죠?
그런 것 같아요.
네네.
핑크색이 나 있는
네네.
조금
She
애매한
leaves the club, so she's trying to get closer to make sure that that is hers.
어차피 여기서 언블레이블 옵션 할 거면
Of course, she
이제는
doesn't want to disturb it, and she can't really get to it either to place a tee.
그러니까 어차피 미리 포기하시는
네.
거죠. 근데 선수 볼 확인을 할 때
Obviously, it goes without saying, this is not
부러지지만
a
않으면 되니까.
Sunday round with your buddies. This is a major championship, one of the most important events on the calendar, so absolutely everything needs to be done to 100% to the letter. She's got the permission to go look at the ball.
선수 볼 맞아요? 네. 그리고 원위치로 가실 거예요?
Yep, that's mine.
그러면은 제가 커팅 정할게요. 혹시 잠깐만 이내 네, 이내 예, 저쪽으로.
Camera has to make weight, so the penalty has been acknowledged and accepted.
파트 좀 빼주세요.
But I will admit, when I'm out of
조심.
answers, like I am in this situation, she's gotten in the cart. She
떨어지는 데가 이게 요 바로 꺾을 옆이야. 그거보다 살짝 우측이야. V자 그 꺾인 데가. 파인 대로 글로 가자.
So because the ball was lost, you can't take a provisional. You have to take your drive knowing you have the penalty. So this is the third shot officially for Yoonina after much delay. And that will be a sight for sore eyes for her as she finds the fairway. It's much more like it. So we'll have to get an official yardage. We know she's a long hitter like Pei So-hyun. We know she can almost certainly reach the green from there. It's does she even dare? Risk expedited by the cart. She has the 5-wood in hand, so she is saying it's worth the risk. I'm watching keenly with interest. Not a tournament defining shot, but a crucial one. Now, whatever this ends up as will be what stands between she and par. All the way to sit up on the fringe. barring some kind of marathon playoff tomorrow. 24 hours from now, it will be festive and celebratory environment on this 18th green. Yoon, of course, would love to stake a claim to a first career major title. Despite everything that's gone on in the last little while here, she still could escape this 18th with the par. If she misses, she's dropping to 2 back of the lead. Gives it a valiant try. She'll take a short tap in over a dicey downhill. But there is no doubt that this was a far more volatile back 9 than she could have possibly imagined after an almost, that is 5 shots off the pace. Yoon, meanwhile, her 4th bogey of the back 9. 38 on the way in after a 32 on the way out. She's tied for 3rd and 2 back after a rather dramatic conclusion to her 54th hole.